Hey guys, this is Josh from Watch It All About with another video, and in this video we're going to do something that I've not done before but I'm quite excited by. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all 69 watch reviews that I published in 2020 on my site, watchitallabout.com, and also on my YouTube channel. So we've got plenty to get on with. I've set 4 different ratings: epic, great, average, and meh/forgettable. So hopefully as we go through them we'll be able to see which watches you should pay most attention to from my wide collection of reviews from last year. So without further ado, let's check it out. So I'm going to go from newest to oldest, so we're going to start off in December. First of all, we have the Accio AK01 Umura Blue. Now this was a very cool Seiko the Willard homage, slightly under 200 quid. I'm going to put it under average because there are other options slightly cheaper, like the Steel Dive, that's about 100 quid. However, it still was a very, very nice watch. The DIY Watch Club Diver watch review, I'm going to put that down as average as well. It was really enjoyable to do it. It was a little bit pricey, I'm not going to deny that. However, it's really cool the way that you get a decent watch at the end of it, and also you get all of the tools and very, very good videos, and I learned quite a lot from it. D1 Milano Atlas, that was really, really nice. Again, slightly pricey unfortunately, I think it was around the €600 mark, and for a watch containing a Seiko NH35, too expensive unfortunately. That's another average I'm going to pop that down as. A Caluce Shark 500 meters. Now this was an unusual one because it was tremendous value for money. It is another Submariner homage though, but it did have a couple of unusual tweaks about it, namely the sunburst dial, that really, really cool ceramic bezel insert as well. Came with a really nice leather strap. I'm toying between putting it between great and average, but unfortunately I'm going to have to put it as an average. It's looking pretty grim so far, let's be honest. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 watches in average at the moment. However, the next one, the one I am watching, the Acutron Dna. Now this was a sensational watch, and it could potentially be my favourite watch I ever reviewed last year. Mainly because of the brilliant electrostatic movement powered it. I'm going to put that under the the epic column because that was a sensational watch. Things are starting to look up now. Fears Brunswick. So this was a guest review I published on behalf of Brad Holmes, an excellent watch reviewer who also does work for Worn and Wound. That's going to go in the great section. This Fears do really, really beautiful British watches. Very, very good. Hamilton Khaki Field is next, and that again is a brilliant watch for the money. I'm going to slap that straight into the great column. Okay, another one. Manufacturer Waldorf Imperial Diamond Silver. Now this is the very first tourbillon I've ever featured on the watch. This was reviewed by Brad, however I'm going to be doing a video review of it shortly. I'm going to put that into the epic column, and the reason why is because this is haute horology kind of stuff. The case is constructed of sapphire, which is absolutely unbelievable. Obviously it's tourbillon as well, which in itself is a great big tick in terms of, you know, a watch connoisseur. But that case is sensational, so definitely check that out. The Reese Resolute Camo Green. This was nice. I'm going to say nice. It's an average watch. I do like it. Good build quality, nice simple design, but nothing too outstanding about it. Strapped in Time Camouflage Watch Strap Review. Now this is a review by Weston Dakin. I have one of these straps. Really nice strap. I'm going to put it in the average column though. Right, this is my first meh/forgettable. The Duxo Concilio. Now this is really unfortunate. Not unfortunate, but really disappointing. Price was way overpriced. The build quality was average, and you know the specs were average as well. Duxo are another brand under the Dartmouth brand's umbrella, so that's like Aviate, Spinnaker. They clearly know how to make great watches at a decent price point, but for some reason this Duxo just was not for me. The next review was the WatchPod watch display stand, and I actually have it here. These are really good for about $15, slightly over £10. Really nice. I'm going to actually put that in the great column because really good items for your viewing pleasure of all sorts of watches on your desk. Mitch Mason Chronicle. This was really well designed, really well constructed as well. I'm going to put that in the average column, however, just because it didn't do quite enough to really impress me or blow me away. Citizen Navihawk. Now this is a watch that I'm going to put straight into the epic column. This is a watch that has been going for absolutely decades. Magnificent timepiece, and I was so happy to get my hands on it, and it didn't disappoint. It was absolutely sensational. Filippo Loretti, let's say no more about that. That's going in the mere forgettable column. Audaz Octamarine, that was a great watch actually. I'm gonna give it because it had really solid build quality. It was a chunk, man. It was a massive amount of steel for a really good price. Great specs as well. The Sega Design Z series. This was reviewed by Weston Dakin on the website. That impressed him quite a lot. However, for me, I'm not sure about it. I'm going to put it in the average column. You can see here I'm trying to be pretty brutal, if I'm honest. Only the really, really impressive watches go in the epic or the great column. D1 Milano X-Ray. Oh, this was a difficult one. I'm going to put this in the forgettable column. I'm really sorry. It was a very nice watch, but it was difficult to read and very expensive. Right, G-Shock G-Steel. This was a great watch. Absolute tank of a beast. If a standard G-Shock is not enough for you, get a G-Shock G-Steel because that thing is on another level. Rotary Super 7 Scuba. This is going straight into the epic column because this was a brilliant watch for the price. I don't have it on me, but it's in my... I've still got it. I still keep it. I still wear it. A great alternative to like Seiko SKX 007. Fantastic value for money. It's about £220 that model was. Really solid build, great specs as well. The Benson Black Series Watchwinder. I'm going to put this in average because whilst it was a beautifully crafted, constructed box, it was fairly pricey. I'm not going to deny it. Pear and Hints. Now I'm going to... Oh, I feel bad doing this, but I'm going to have to drop this in the forgettable column because if I... my life wouldn't be any different. You know, it's not a life-changing watch. I'm, again, being completely brutal here. Maurice Lacroix Acon Ventura. This is going in the epic column because this was a tremendous watch and I absolutely loved it. One of my favourite watches of 2020. Beautifully crafted, unbelievably well designed and just put together. Absolutely loved it. Spinnaker Butker. I'm going to put this in the forgettable column because, yes, it looked nice, but the build quality wasn't the greatest for the price, I'll be honest. Orient Defender Mark II. It's an Orient. Pretty good. I'm going to put that in the great column because for the value for money, you know, any Orient is epic value for money because of their in-house movements. These three Aviates, I'm going to put them in the forgettable column because, again, they're not life-changing. And the same for this Povey Albion. Not really special enough to really justify it going outside of the meh column. William Wood Valiant. This is a really nice watch. I'm going to put it in the average column because great build quality, lovely design, unusual design, but a little bit pricey. So average column. These night tritium key rings, these were brilliant and I love them. I've got them on my key rings now. I'm going to put them in the great column. Not epic because at the end of the day they're only like 15, 20 quid. But I'm going to put them in the great column because genuinely they are a great gift, or, you know, if you're a watch enthusiast, I would highly suggest you check them out and potentially buy one. The Harry's Watch Accessories buttoned leather watch case. This is really nice, really good price as well, really cheap, especially for us in the UK because they're a UK company. I'm going to put them in the average column because they outsource them. They come in from Eastern Europe, so mine took absolutely ages to come, which was a little bit of a bummer. Spinnaker Flus, it's nice, but I'm going to put it in the forgettable column. Nth Nakan and Tikuna. These were beautiful watches. I'm going to put them in the great column actually because the Nth, I feel in the affordable market, they're slightly over affordable. They're about £500, but their cases are some of the best in the business, and also the bracelets, the bezel as well. You know, it's one of those kind of things where you just look at it and you handle it and use it, and you can tell that this is crafted to an absolutely excellent level of detail. Lux Classic Chrono. This was a guest review. I'm putting it in the forgettable column because I handled that watch and I was a bit disappointed by it, if I'm honest. Code 41 Anomaly-01. Oh, this is a good one. I'm not sure if to put it in the epic or the great column. It was brilliant watch, but it is quite expensive. So on that, because it's not quite got that value for money label, I'm going to put it in the great column, fortunately for them. Stalingrad Destroyer, it's going in the meh column, I'm going to be completely honest. MHD SA2 Heritage. This is a great watch brand by a British guy. He's a card designer. He worked for Morgan, designed that really, you know, incredible Morgan with his 3 wheels. He was the man who designed that car. I'm going to put it in the great column. It's not quite epic enough, but it is great. It is a fantastic watch. Circular Heritage. Design-wise, it's all right. However, the movements they used, new old stock movements, that's quite a big plus for them. I'm going to put it in the average column, though. Lunar Pilot Moonwatch. Now, this is one of those watches that I've been trying to get my hands on for absolutely ages. You know, one of those kind of watches where I've like thought, why have I never reviewed this before? And I did review it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Well, that's going in the epic pile all the way over there. How do we do? Right, eGuard V1-C. Now, I have a strong inclination to put this in the meh/forgettable column. However, it is a mechanical movement and it is extraordinarily cheap. So you are getting quite a lot of watch for your money, even though it is pretty plain. I'm going to put it in the average column for that. Chris Ford C60 Elite 1000. This thing is a tremendous watch. The Christopher Ward C60 standard version, the 600 meters, is, in my opinion, one of the best watches. Well, the best watch under £1,000. So the Elite just took it to another level. Titanium, COSC, all sorts of different little goodies here and there. 1,000 meters water resistance as well. I'm going to put it in the epic column. I was debating internally in my mind whether to put it in epic or great. Epic, it goes. Visitor Watch Co. Linden. Now, I've been a fan of Visitor for ages because of their beautiful design. Their design is like no other and beautiful build quality as well. That's going in the great column, I think. Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra 38mm. Do I even need to ask what a beautiful watch that is? Yes, it is. It's a luxury watch, so it is pricey, but an absolutely delightful watch as well. Bosphorus Leather Galata 3 watch roll. This was a beautiful. I still use it. Well, I don't still use it because I'm not traveling at the moment, thanks to obviously, you know. But I'm going to put that in the great column. £200 that is, but it is a clearly luxurious, opulent accessory, and I would recommend it if you're looking for something quite extravagant in that regard. Horage Altark. Now, I love what Horage are doing. They've done their own completely bespoke in-house movement, which is no easy feat in today's horological world. So I'm going to put that in the great column. Doesn't quite reach the epic column, mainly because the watch itself is, I don't know, just the design doesn't quite call out to me, and the price, yes, it has its own in-house movement, but I don't know, there's just something about it that doesn't quite class it in the epic column for me. Rotary Heritage. This is a nice vintage-inspired design, good specs. It's going in the average column though because there's nothing outstanding about it. Spinnaker Rec. That's pretty forgettable, straight in there. Maurice Lacroix Acon. Now, this is obviously the standard Acon, whereas I had already reviewed the Acon Ventura. This is going in great. It's not quite as good in my eyes as the Ventura, but it's going in great because that is still a beautiful, beautiful watch. Hampton H3 Gmt. Now, the Hampton H2, the Kraken, is one of my favourite affordable dive watches, and this is the H3, so it's a GMT basically, and the next round. I'm going to put it in great because it's better than average, but it's not quite epic. And there's been quite Ross, bless him, is going through quite a lot of tough times at the moment. So the actual process of manufacturing, getting this watch into people's hands is taking a very, very long time, which I do sympathise on both sides for. So there we go. Aviate Hawker Harrier. This was quite a decent watch, quite a nice watch. I'm going to put it in average because it was beautifully detailed and relatively good value for money as well. Mas Irokanji, again, I'm going to put that in the average column. Chunky, tanky watch, pretty good value for money, but not crazy epic. Phil Sennon, I'm going to put that in the forgettable column. Sorry about that. Thomas Earnshaw, that can go in the forgettable column. That was Swiss made. That was a nice watch, but flipping expensive. Drake and Tugela 2.0 Super Blue. This is getting into like nearly a year ago now, so this is really exciting stuff. I'm going to put this in the great column. This was a sensational watch, and just look at it. That blue is absolutely fabulous. I love Draken watches, so that was a really, really good watch. I did an unusual review of a book, especially a book about Rolex, because I don't necessarily know a whole lot about Rolex. So that's why this was really interesting to me, because it was a vintage Rolex field guide written by, you know, an expert in that field. Really thoroughly enjoyed reading it. I didn't think I would, and I learned a hell of a lot. I'm going to put that in the great column, and I would recommend, if that is something that really, really interests you, definitely go for reading that. Aldrich Seaborn, I'm going to put that in the average column. It was a real chunky watch, but nothing too outstanding about it. Armogan Syracuse, forgettable, sorry. Audaz Bronzematic, that was pretty good. I'm going to put it in the average column. It was a little bit pricey for Audaz, because usually Audaz are really, really good in their prices. G Gerlache Enigma 2. Now, I love G Gerlache. This was a sensational watch for the money. I'm going to put that in the great column. Not quite epic enough, but really good. Vaphaus Vorka. This was beautiful. I love the salmon pink of this, and just the classy design. Great value for money as well. That's going in the great column. Nordgreen Pioneer. This is a Scandinavian beauty. I'm going to put it in the average column, though. It's not necessarily a great watch, but really clean design, good build quality for a pretty reasonable price. Manufacturer Waldorf Capital Obsidian. I'm going to put that in the average column as well. Really nice skeletonized movement with unusual movement as well. 80-hour power reserve on that bad boy. Actually, you know what? I'm going to upgrade that to great now that I've just remembered what it was about. Aquatico Bronze Blue Angels. This was probably an average watch. Good that it had a bronze case and really cheap. It was really affordable with great specs. Lilienthal Berlin Zeitgeist. This was a beautiful Bauhaus watch with great specs. I'm going to put it in average though, because it wasn't quite great enough to go into the great column. Phantom Caluce. This is a sister company to Hampton. Ross from Hampton basically looks after all of this stuff. Again, because of Ross's issues, unfortunately, I haven't really heard much of any updates at all from Phantom. So I'm going to assume that's pretty much just sat on the back burner at the moment, which is a shame. I'm going to put that in the average column solely because of that. Spinnaker Amalfi. This was a decent watch actually for Spinnaker. However, no Spinnaker watch really deserves to go in the great column, I don't think. So I'm going to bang it in the average column. Boulder Expedition, the Rushmore version. This was a beautiful watch, and I still have it. I still love wearing it. I'm going to put that in the great column because it was a really, really lovely timepiece. Spinnaker Spence, forgettable. Finally, the last review, or should I say the first review of 2020, was the Wolf Expo. I'm going to put that in average. Really nice skeletonized dial, nice build quality, but fairly pricey as well. So there we have it, all 69 watches blasted through. Let's have a look at the epic column, because I know that's the only column you're really interested in, because that's the only column that I'm interested in. Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra, obviously. Chris Ford C60 Elite 1000, brilliant watch. The Beloved Lunar Pirate Moon Watch, absolute classic. Maurice Lacroix Acon Ventura. The Rotary Super 7 Scuba watch review, which is the most affordable watch in this epic column. Great option. Moving on to the Citizen Navi Hawk. Again, another classic, just like that Beloved. Brilliant watch. The Acutron Dna. Now, I'm going to say that this is probably my favourite watch of 2020. Sensational timepiece. I would highly recommend you check it out in further detail. And finally, the manufacturer Waldhof Imperial Diamond. There we go. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to whittle that down to my top 5, but I'm going to do that in another video. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. Hope you enjoyed that. I know it was a bit of a blitz, but I'm going to add all the links to the description, so make sure you check them out. Any watches that really take your pick or take your fancy, definitely check them out, because in reality, don't forget the great column, because any watches in the great column is certainly worth your time looking into as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments what you thought about my picks. If you think, from any other channels as well, what watches you think deserve to go in the epic category too. So I look forward to hearing from you further later on, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment too. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.